Most busy professionals want to get in shape and feel fitter, sharper, and more confident. But sadly, so many fail to be consistent when it comes to health and fitness. And it's not because they're unmotivated or lazy. It's because the way that they're approaching fitness simply doesn't work with a demanding job. But if nothing changes, the costs do pile up. Lower energy, higher stress, and worst of all, your health starts slipping in the wrong direction. But here's the good news. Staying consistent doesn't require 5 a.m. workouts, beast mode mentality, or living in the gym. It just takes a few simple shifts in terms of how you think, plan, and approach exercise. And I know this because as a full-time lawyer, this is exactly what I had to figure out. But I promise, if you make these shifts, it actually becomes pretty easy to become the person who actually sticks to the gym, no matter how busy you get. So let's break these shifts down step by step. Okay, so I'm gonna break this video down in terms of problem and then the solution and shift that you need to make in relation to that problem. And so the first problem that we need to discuss is that health and exercise, it's just not a true priority yet for busy professionals a lot of the time. And I think the case when it comes to busy professionals is that they are often high performers. They might be very intellectual and they've clearly been able to progress within their career. And so that shows that they clearly can implement actions when things are important enough to them. And so when it does come to exercise and fitness, I think the reality is that the importance of them just isn't high enough and it hasn't really made their true priority list. And it's more of like a nice to have and kind of something that is optional in terms of their mindset. And I know this because this is exactly what happened to me. The one time where I have really slipped with exercise and health and fitness was during the first 6 months of my legal career. And I think at that time, obviously everything was new within my career and I had this mindset you know, it's going to be really tough now and my hours are going to be long and I just need to focus in on my career and try to learn as much as I can. And that just became my big priority. I just really became consumed with the work. And I think I forgot about some of these surrounding healthy habits that I should have, particularly around health and fitness. But slowly but surely, during those 6 months, I was starting to put on weight and just my whole energy and mood was just going down and down. And I was almost becoming, a little bit just sadder and more depressed with how life was going. Thankfully, I did realize fairly quickly, by the end of those 6 months, that I needed to refocus in terms of my priorities, and exercise and health and fitness needed to be at the top of the list and was ultimately something that I really enjoyed doing. And this is the first solution and the first shift that busy professionals I think need to make, is that they need to realize that your health, it's got to be your number one priority. Without it, everything falls away. And your body, it's ultimately the vessel that allows you to do anything in life. And so you need to treat that vessel as your number one asset. And also what I think a lot of people fail to realize is that there is so many downstream benefits of exercising and prioritizing your health and fitness, particularly when it comes to actually your working career. And all these benefits are that you're gonna feel way better, you're gonna be more energized, you're probably gonna be more productive when it comes to your work. And maybe if you start exercising and your body starts changing and improving in certain ways that you want, you're probably just gonna feel more confident and better about yourself as well. And so there's all of these benefits that you can also get that will actually help your career from just exercising and prioritizing your health and fitness. The second problem that I see is that I think people's system for exercise just sucks. Firstly, in terms of not really knowing what to do in terms of the exercise. And then secondly, and probably a bigger issue, is that they leave exercising to when they're gonna have time for it, or maybe even worse, when they have motivation to exercise and go to the gym. But this sort of system that people have, I think it just sets themselves up for failure. And so the clear solution here is to implement what I would call the 3S system. So firstly, keep it simple. So what I would do is I would strength train 3 times a week, because strength training is so important. No matter what age you are, male or female, everyone should be strength training. And then I would also try to do 3 cardio sessions. And for your cardio, it can be anything. If you like the traditional sort of running, swimming, cycling, then that's great. But if you just want to play paddle tennis or five-a-side football, do that as well. Secondly, schedule your workouts. So I would literally time block in your calendar the exact times when you are gonna exercise and make those times absolute non-negotiables that people can't move within your calendar, because like your motivation to work out, that is going to come and go. But if you have a clear block of a time where you know you've allocated to do that, and then you just tell yourself that you're gonna go regardless of how you're feeling or anything else going into your life, that will make sure that you actually are consistent when it comes to working out. And thirdly, be structured. So do actually know the exercises that you're gonna do before you get to the gym, because I think knowing that, it just makes the gym feel like less intimidating and avoids any of those feelings of like, you may be just wandering around the gym and not really knowing what to do. And it does give you a clear sense of direction to work towards. And my recommendation in terms of like the 3 strength training sessions that you're gonna do is to either do a push-pull leg split, or do 1 upper body session, 1 lower body session, and then 1 all body session. And that's the split that I'm currently doing. And within those splits, if you don't know exactly like what to do, I would just watch YouTube videos. There's tons of information that you can find out in terms of knowing exactly what the exercises are, or you can even chat GPT it, and it will probably give you a good structure of what to do within those splits. And I think why this 3S system is so good is because when it comes to busy professionals, like the last thing you want to be doing is having some like decision fatigue around like, should I, shouldn't I go to the gym, or when should I, or what am I going to do? And so it just avoids all of those thoughts, and it allows you to really be like as efficient with your time as possible. And it will give you then more time to actually do some of the other things that you might still want to do. Problem 3 that I see is simply around energy. I mean, just feeling like you don't have the energy to exercise. And it's hard. Like if you're a busy professional working in a stressful job, you're gonna have like a lot going on throughout the day. And all of that, you know, it can take its toll and it can sap your energy. And so the solution here is really a simple one, but it's just to try to prioritize all of the healthy habits that you probably already know about. And so that really is, it's your diet, making sure you're sleeping enough, trying where you can to minimize stress as much as possible, staying hydrated, and exercise. And like I said earlier, exercise is actually going to be one that's going to give you more energy. And so try to just remind yourself of that. And the one there that I actually would highlight though is around diet, because I think people really don't give diet the importance that it needs. I mean, like, you wouldn't put crack fuel in a Ferrari, yet I see so many people just putting like excessive amount of shit into their body. I mean, I see all the time people that are eating like a sandwich and a pack of crisps for lunch, but that's just not going to be doing your body any favors. I mean, I know if I ate that, I would feel like crap. My energy would be low, my mood would probably be low. I sometimes feel like shaky from foods like that because I would have spiked my glycogen levels. And so I think you really just need to try to give diet the priority that it needs. And for me, that means firstly making sure that you're actually eating enough food. I'd make sure also that you're eating enough protein, which I think is something that people really underestimate, and ultimately just trying to be relatively clean with the foods that you are eating. And then the final problem that I see is around sort of like all or nothing thinking, which I think a lot of the time people think like if they miss one day of exercise, then their whole week's ruined, or if they don't have that perfect 60 to 90 minute slot to exercise, there's no point going at all. Or even kind of as we alluded to earlier, like if they don't have perfect energy and motivation to go to the gym, then it's just gonna be impossible for them to go. But in reality, that sort of thinking is really just not right. And I mean, you wouldn't stop brushing your teeth if you missed one night of brushing your teeth. And fitness, it's like the same. I think we just need to adopt more of this mindset, like something is better than nothing, and even like 20 minutes still counts. I mean, you can really still get an excellent workout and get a real sweat going in 20 minutes, or even less than that. Even if you just got 10 minutes, that is still 100% worth doing. And what we're really aiming with all of this is like consistency over perfection. And we're just trying to stack wins, because the more and more you can be consistent with something, the easier it's generally just going to become. So yeah, if you miss a session, that's fine, but just get right back on the horse. Or if you only have 30 minutes instead of 60, just utilize those 30 minutes and try to stack up that consistency with all of this. So there you have, in my mind, the real shifts I think you need to make. Make exercise and health and fitness a priority. Have a system in place to actually do the exercise. Try to do things that are going to enable you to be as energized as possible, and realize something is always better than nothing. I hope you found some of that interesting, and some of these things are things that you will implement. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.